What's up, guys? Hi, my name is Ian Steele. I'm here to talk about pretty much my past experiences of what I've been through and how my racial views have changed over time. So, first and foremost, I was born on the island of Hawaii, Hawaii, and then after that, I moved to Washington State, and then after that, I moved from Washington State to California, to Indiana, to California again, and then back to Nevada. So being from a military family, that's how I moved around a lot. I've experienced several different types of aspects of culture. I say pop instead of soda because just saying soda to me it feels weird. So yeah. But anyways, so I really don't remember too much about Washington or California for the first time. I remember mostly about Indiana. So Indiana is where pretty much I grew up and I was raised there. So I went to school. I went to a predominantly white school, which I pretty much enjoyed because I made all those friends there, and I still am friends with them today, even though it's been like 12 years since I last saw them. But all in all, like whenever when I was living there, I thought to myself, I was white. I really never thought of myself as Asian American or Pacific Islander because my mom is Filipino, my dad is German and Native American. So I never really thought of myself as a multicultural person until I moved out of Indiana to California. When I moved to California, I learned more about my identity. I learned more that I'm Asian American, or as I call it, it's Philippines. But when I went to California, I experienced the diversity there was tremendous. The diversity in California is very tremendous. I've learned so many things, because being Asian American there, it's very, I experienced my first experience with racism there because I was good at math. And to be honest with you, you can be good at something, but you don't have to like it. I was good at math, but I never really liked it because I don't know. I never really can get into math. I'm actually better at English than I am at math. But when I went there, a lot of people thought that they thought oh, you're Chinese, you're automatically, because the stereotype of an Asian is like, oh, you're Chinese. And then they always ask me, it's like, hey, Chink, come over here, can you help me with my homework? And I'm like, excuse me, that's not my name, my name's this. But a lot of people didn't think that way because back in California, I liked it, but I didn't like the way I was treated because of my race. And then I learned more and more about my race that in reality we are Pacific Islanders. But a lot of people thought just because my eyes were a different shape, just because my skin was a different color, they think they could judge me for how I was. But so what? I'm Asian. I've seen some other people, they're black, they're white, they're Mexican, they're Indian. It doesn't matter what type of race you are, but those stereotypes get in the way of those races. So every time I look at something a lot of people say about Mexicans, oh, they work at certain types of different, they can only work here and here because that's all they can do because they don't have an education. But what people are doing now, they're different now. People from different parts of the country are coming here to get an education, to work, and better themselves. And people aren't just okay, let me just hop on a boat and come here and then work just because that's the American dream. No, that's not the American dream at all. American dream is what you do with your, if you have an education, it's what you do with your education. It's what you do with your life, and it's what makes you happy. It doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It's about what makes you happy. So after I went through that 3 years of so-called hell in California, I moved from California to Nevada. And to be honest with you, like when I moved to Nevada, I was really skeptic of this place because, like, only thing I knew about Nevada was Las Vegas, and I was thinking to myself, like, ooh, I could drive down to Vegas every day. But then again, it was 8 hours away, and California was closer. But but knowing that, I thought it was like, oh, it's the home place of Reno 911. You guys remember that show? Yeah, probably don't. But when I moved here, like, it reminded me a lot of Indiana. It reminded me a lot of Indiana in a sense, with a more like mountain landscape and more diverse. Well, diverse in my eyes. But when I went to school here, like, I liked it. It was, everybody wasn't really judgmental of each other. Nobody really stereotyped anybody. I mean, sometimes I had to conform because I felt like I felt out of place, because when I went to school here, I wore different clothes because I used to dress up like how I was in California. I used to wear the jean shorts with the baggy t-shirts with the Converse. I used to wear that, but now, like, ever since I moved here, I had to change my style so I could conform to what they look like, so at least people would talk to me. But then again, I really didn't have a sense of morality back then, because I believed what people thought of me. If I dressed a certain type of way, people would think of me differently. But in reality, that's not always true. Like, people don't judge you on the way you dress. People judge you on the way you talk, the way you speak, like way you bring yourself out there, you express yourself. But when I went on to high school, freshman year, I always thought that conform to all you eat, and you always have to conform. But that's not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be yourself and express yourself. I didn't learn this until senior year of high school. But sophomore, junior, and senior year, I started like to try to bring myself out, try to expressing yourself. Like, I started to express myself during senior year of my high school career. Well, not high school, but I started to express myself more. I started to embrace my culture a lot more. I started to, teach people like how loving Filipinos are, because in reality, like in the past, but Filipinos are the party Asians. So yeah, but since then, after that, I started college, and I noticed how much I've grown as a person, how much I've not depended on, pretty much I haven't depended on people to support me. I depended on myself to support myself, and I pretty much wanted to expand my racial views and expand like that. Not the picture is not always black and white. I just wanted to see what life is like on campus, and I noticed that it's not that diverse. I know because the statistics say that it's mostly predominantly white, and I think it's just something we need to change. But is it going to happen tomorrow? I don't think so. I think it's just going to happen over time. And ever since I took Jody's class, I felt like I've learned so much more about everybody's different types of cultures, from being black, from being Southern American, from not even being in this country. It opened up my eyes a lot more because I've noticed I was blinded by all these issues. I didn't know that African Americans have been through so much crap, been through so much struggle, including the Mizzou, like all of that. People are scared to go to classes just because of like racial slurs and derogatory terms that they've been getting towards them. And I've never faced that before, but I hope I don't face that ever. But in reality, it just helped me improve my views on it and help me respect those views of those people. And I don't mean to attack anybody. I don't mean to, I'm not trying to defend one person, because to quote Kendrick Lamar, we were put on this earth to love, and I don't know, like, that's what he said. He said that, and I strongly believe that we were put on this earth to love, and I don't think that we should always be fighting about several different types of issues just because we're a person of color. I believe that we should all just be equality and equity. We should all just be equal and one person, and all get along with each other. We shouldn't always have to fight. But then again, that's my point of view. So, alright, so pretty much that's my story. So, see you guys in class.